whether it be a parent, girlfriend, boyfriend, peer, sibling. You want to be able to voice that to them, but also give them room for feedback as well. And then, what do you think after you come to a resolution? What do you think about my proposed solution? Remember, we're not attacking the person; we're attacking the problem. And if I can touch on that today, what happened with me was that I had a particular person. I was asking them a question about a situation, and they came and said to me, "Well, you don't know what I've been through." And I looked at them, and my response was, "Wow, that's pretty deep. That's pretty deep because we're in the same environment, even though we're in different areas where we're working. Overall, we're in the same environment. Do you know what I went through today?" But it was more so on their end because they were looking from a pessimistic lens, strictly negative, because things aren't going their way. I want you to catch that because they've been in a certain place for a insurmountable amount of time, and the process and the routine has changed, and they don't like change. And when they don't like change, they begin to pick out what's wrong with this, what's wrong with that, what's wrong with this. That's called externalizing. Anytime that something happens, let's say for example between Courtney and I, we have a disagreement. I immediately go to her and say, "This is what she did. She said how she looked, how she smelled, how her hair looked, or how she looked at me." That's all based on my own perception. Who should I look at first? I should look at me before I cast judgment or cast a perception or an assumption towards what she is doing. That is major, you all. That is major for us to understand. So I think overall, hopefully we got it. I'm hoping and praying that we can apply this in a real life situation. The one new thing I want to introduce to you all about conflict is that this is the type of program that's really going to challenge your belief system. It should provoke you to greatness. Therefore, you may not want to come here. You may not want to come here because I'm teaching from what I'm living. I'm not teaching from what I've read. That's a major statement and a major difference between how some people would teach versus another person. When a person is teaching you stuff that they're living, the weight of what's being shared is heavier, and you may feel conflict with the message or the word or the statement that the person is making. Meaning, man, I don't really want to come here. I'm not excited. It's not that it's not fun. It's supposed to be fun, but it's supposed to be life changing at the same time. The conflict that we have always starts within. Dr. Logan and I was having a conversation about a situation where you have a person that don't want to come for whatever reason. And when you really look at it and analyze it for what it is, it's not because of anything that we're doing wrong. It's because it's a demand being placed on that person for that life to change. I didn't know it was going to comprise of all this. Yeah, it is. This is a life-changing program. This is not a life-modifying or a program where you can come in and say, "Yeah, I'll come there and we have a good time." And no, we're talking about real life. Life is real. Why will we teach you anything less than the authentic truth? No, we're not so much concerned with life. We want to be in good relationship with our students, but the most important thing is that we bring you truth, because many times people will live their life in a fantasy. They get into a relationship of whatever kind, sibling, co-worker, parent, romantic partner, and because in their mind they live a fantasy for so long, they get into a relationship with a person and their standard of living is different and their value system is different. Now I'm upset because it's supposed to go this way, but it's not going this way. It's going the way that it's supposed to go in regards to truth. Now I'm gonna blame that person. Well, they need to get with the program. They need to change. No, I need to change my perspective on what this relationship is supposed to equate to, what was the outcome, and the work I have to do on the inside in order to move forward. If I leave you with anything concerning this lesson, conflict always starts internally. The conflict that you have with a person is never